So here we have the social media company Reddit, and this is the chart on the monthly. So we will go in and we will put in our all-time low and our all-time high, and I'll make that green and I'll make this one red. So nice range to play with there, as we can see. So what levels do we have to play with? We have an interesting level here. If I get it there, so we've got that there. So I'll make that white, grab it and go under like that. Yeah. We have a level relatively close here that we can play around with. And that's it on the monthly. So I'll go in and just put in an M for monthly. And if we move down onto the weekly, so what can we see if we zoom out? So yeah, nice pattern. We've got this big impulse come down and retest, and we can see on the retest, interestingly, it's come and it's retested the impulse. So that's a really interesting thing to note about this. So if we come here and we zoom in, what can we see? Can we see any levels? We can see that that one needs to move up slightly. Two interesting areas. I think there's an interesting level there on the weekly. So I'll go in, I'll put a W there. We've got a weekly level here. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. No. No. So that is... There's a closest one there that I think is quite nice. That gives us some nice weekly levels down here where we may see some sort of reaction. This one for me, I think, is the key one, as we can see that this has acted as a really nice level of support before an impulse. So if we move down onto the daily, is there anything we can see? We can see if we zoom in. Is there anything? No. Okay, so if we go back onto the weekly and we can have a look at this. So looking at this from a long-term view, we can see that this area here is a really big liquidity zone. So if we get our FRVP, where does the volume sit on this chart? So if we go across here, so we can see big area down here where you may see a reaction. So if I go like this, nice area there. We've got an area below here. And then moving higher, we have a lot of volume in and around this area. So should this retrace, this may be an area to bounce. This also may be an area to bounce a little bit here. So I think if we go on to the nearer term stuff, so where may we see more immediate reaction, particularly within this structure here? So if we go across, so yeah, this area here, we'll mark out with a box. We've got a horizontal ray that we will use here. Yeah, outside of it, not much to go off. So I think there's a interesting yet scary gap here. I think if I was trading this, if we lose here, you're then potentially looking down for a reaction in this zone here. Yeah, difficult one to trade because you've not got much to go off, as you can see. Yeah, the size of these candles here, this here is a massive liquidity zone. So I will draw that in and I'll make that there. So we can see that this is price moves very quickly in this area, so this is one to watch out for. But yeah, in terms of what we see, yeah, so I think near-term perspective, you're probably looking at a retest here. If it doesn't hold, you've got a nice little level of potential support in here. But yeah, alternatively, you can see just how quickly price moves even on the 4 hour through this area. So yeah, so definitely want to be careful with. Not one I would trade personally, but each to their own. I think, yeah, I think if you're looking to build an entry down here in this zone is probably quite an interesting area, if not down here. But this zone here is one that I'd like to see a lot more price action in before I make a judgment on this one.